Are you out there to take away my fear? I haven't lost my hope, even though I am so far from my home. I've been living life on the edge, slipping far if I take one more step. The safety in numbers I guess, but I'm going rogue in the wild, wild west. Wild, wild west, wild, wild west, wild. From where I stand, there's a world where you can. All that you lost, you get back. And all that you want, you can have. I've been living life on the edge, slipping fast if I take one more step.
Hello, hello, hello. Anybody out there?
But I'm going rogue in the wild, wild west. Wild, wild west. Wild, wild west. I've been dancing in the moonlight. I've been laughing with the
I don't think so. I know so. Get it!
I've been living with the starlight.
What do you have to say on that, Vin? Are you there, Vin?
I've got idea, man. You take me for a walk under the sycamore tree. The dark trees that blow, baby. In the dark tree that blow.
Sorry about that, Cameron. It's just I asked Vin to come on and just talk nicely, and he's sort of like singing sycamore trees. So, are you able to hear me now? Okay.
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you mind pulling the camera back just a little bit? Just because, like, I'm so used to doing the in the little boxes. Oh, better.
No problem. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the invite. What's going on?
Just invited you on here just to talk about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom because
Sure.
I'm faced with the prospect of Mandela Man, as he calls himself, aka Bean Stone, talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and I don't know if I can cope with that level of intensity tonight. So I thought I'd just bring you on and we can talk about reliability in the Twin Peaks community, your whole experience of things with your recent videos with Mr. C, even touching on, you know, the Tulpa forum, that kind of thing. But in terms of Indiana Jones, in all seriousness, I did actually go and see the Dial of Destiny last Thursday.
How was it?
And it was sort of an unusual experience, really, for that kind of a film, I would say. And that's probably one of the reasons why some people are a bit turned off by it, because it sort of actually picks up halfway through. You know, in terms of the first 25 minutes being the de-aged Indian, all that kind of thing, running along trains and Nazis, etc. It feels really extended beyond, you know, and I just think like all this fuss being made about this movie not making enough at the box office, at the end of the day, it'll do fine with home viewing and everything, because it's 2.5 hours and it feels like it could easily have been 3 hours and like made home viewing, you know, like where people could just sit there and watch it in 2 parts. And I think in terms of an Indiana Jones film, it's fine as long as you accept that this isn't going to be, you know, Raiders of the Lost Ark or even Temple of Doom. You know,
is it better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? Is what I want to know.
It is a lot better than that, I would say.
Okay.
I think people will probably warm to this one more in time after they've got over basically saying, you know, oh, Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it, she's smug. Like, that's not, I don't like that, you know, kind of. That's the point. That's the point to the character. She's not supposed to be very likable, at least initially. And if you think back to like Marion in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, she wasn't that likable from the fully, you know. And it's,
if Raiders of the Lost Ark came out today, people would be complaining about her as well.
Yeah, and you know, there's scenes where obviously she's just drinking way beyond what she would be able to cope with as a relatively average sized woman, but it's, you know, it's done in good nature and done in a kind of the nature of those films. But it's noticeable that in a way, even though Temple of Doom is more perhaps graphic in some ways, there's quite a lot of bloodletting in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the Nazis in it are very effective. I think that Mads Mikkelsen and the Nazis in this, they're really quite low key in comparison to what some people might probably want. And it almost downplays them to the point where it's just, you know, hello there, by the way, Johnny. We're just talking about Dial of Destiny, the Indiana Jones.
The Dial of Disaster, huh? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, you know, have you seen it?
I have.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll just say from the off that I welcome everybody's comments, but if people are just going to come in and just be completely negative about it,
no, I'm not.
Then that's not. I
was just being a little bit hyperbolic a bit.
No, but that's what Ben said to me as well.
Oh, did it? Oh, yeah, that's why that was on my mind. I saw that
exactly
message.
what he wrote.
Yeah.
I just think that he's saying that because of like Mutt's killed off as a war.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the war, and obviously this film is not pro-war. Whereas I can imagine some people would think, well, you know, Shia LaBeouf is a great actor and one of the most stars in Hollywood. Why would they kill him off like that?
Yeah.
And then, you know,
I wish we would have found out that he was accidentally sacrificed to that.
That was a joke, by the way.
To those people.
I mean, he's not up and coming anymore at all. So he's gone and going down and disappearing, really, I think, to be honest.
James, do we want to address Agent Earl in the chat? Or are we just going to ignore that?
Well, I will say that don't get into some big, like, riled up state over at Daverin. Like, you knew, just to confirm, like, pretty much that Agent Earl, I told you who he was way back when it was the Dugpa Forum. So,
if I could just say something on a positive note, the movie starts off strong. It starts off good.
No, I just started this video and I said the film actually gets better at the halfway mark.
Oh, I didn't
remember.
That.
If anyone's right here, it's me. Okay.
Yeah,
but come on, Johnny. Seriously though, the first 25 minutes is like
a video game
de-aging, and it doesn't have any. There's literally one distant shot of him running along this train, and it looks like so animated.
Yeah, like a video game.
Which I don't have any big issue with, but none of it is necessary. It's just like padded out.
Apparently, that was a shout out to the fans because the Spear of Destiny There's a story, a background story where Indy and his father were always looking for it, and there's even a game made of it or something. So there's some people who are actually looking forward to that kind of plot line. I just found that out recently. I had no idea.
Well, it certainly adds to my enjoyment of the film.
But then it's
But,
dropped.
I think
instantly. Yeah.
no, I think like that first 25 minutes could have been cut out. Like you could literally have 5 minutes of it, and that's fine. But I just think that these films nowadays are so, enthralled to home viewing, and I think that this film will probably do okay at the cinema, but it will, at the same time, do just as okay for home viewing, if not better.
I mean,
So I
within a
think-
month, it's going to be on Disney Plus. So
yeah, precisely. And it feels like that. It feels like actually 3 episodes of an Indiana Jones series, and if you just accept that, it's fine. I mean, I don't know what other people were expecting. Maybe they don't like Phoebe Waller-Bridge because she's like a posh English person with prominent teeth. I don't know. It's
to be honest, I think that it probably would have done better if they had. I mean, this would have been amazing, but I know Harrison Ford does movies and all that, so that but they should have just made it an 8-episode Disney Plus series because that would have been
Well,
incredible.
Cameron, they were planning on this movie was supposed to set off her series. She was going to do a series on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was set up for Mutt to take over too, and nobody wants anybody to take over. So
Yeah, no.
I think they just put these things out there as possibilities, but they realize probably not going to work. I think based on her character in this, an outcry of people wanting Phoebe Waller-Bridge to be basically looking at the camera and going, "Oh, that were a bit naughty, wasn't it?" Like she does in Fleabag. I mean, basically that's all she does in this. She's like, "Oh yeah," it's like just campness to the max.
I know.
I
So-
see more people having
I
a problem
liked it,
with her
Yeah, tongue in cheek.
sidekick than her. I mean, isn't there like a guy's sidekick too? And he's like supposedly really annoying.
He's the
No, I
new
didn't, find,
showrunner.
I didn't find any issue of that. If anyone's probably not liking him, it's probably more of an anti-Latino kind of thing, or whatever he's supposed to be. I think there are some people who are just bashing the film for whatever reason, and they probably don't even like many of the Indiana Jones films anyway. Whereas I think a true person who likes, seeing a 78-year-old man's body, as this shows at the start with Indiana Jones, this is like the film for you. And I did enjoy that. And funnily enough, in the trailer, they actually show Indy going downstairs to complain, or it's the start of that. And in the trailer, they're using a Rolling Stones song. And in this, they are using, I think it's the Magical Mystery Tour. They're playing.
But the one thing they do, James, is they follow this new Disney trope. Or Cameron, are you aware of what they did with Star Wars with Rey and her character?
What about it?
Well, what more or less what they did with Luke Skywalker and how they betrayed his character, like the old man, kind of the grumpy old man who's given up on life, that type of thing.
Well, I mean, there's ways of doing that can work, and there's ways of doing it that can't work. It just depends on did they accomplish what. I mean, it sounds like most people who see this movie do like it more than the last one. So
I've heard the opposite. I've heard people liking Crystal Skull more.
Well, those people are not human beings. They're like termites.
Whoa.
They have no idea how
Johnny,
to
did you seriously like Crystal Skull? I mean, come on.
Oh no! I'm not saying me. I've just been. I think I saw 3 reviews in a row where they literally ended their sentence with "Crystal Skull was better." That's why I'm just bringing it up. Oh, not me. I didn't think that. No.
They only say that because they want to tip the hat to Spielberg. But Spielberg,
yeah.
I mean, when The Lost World looks better in comparison, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'll watch The Lost World over Kingdom of the Crystal Skull any day.
What I was just saying before is it seems like they have.
Johnny, I just wanted to say your mic is going funny all the time.
Oh
no, it's like going. It's got this kind of problem with it all the time. Like when you're speaking quite loud and stuff, it's sort of going. So,
Okay. Let's hope that's better. Does that sound a little bit better?
Do you want to talk Twin Peaks stuff, James? I mean, you were setting this up.
Not
before.
really.
Well, you invited me on to talk about that stuff. So.
No, I said about Johnny's mic doesn't sound very good. That's all.
No, I know.
Sorry.
No problem. Try to fix that.
I bet. Do you mind if you just go and like fix it, Johnny, and then you could come back? Otherwise, it's just too distracting. I'm sorry. So see you for now. Yeah, I've got no problem talking about all the rumors and stuff to do with Twin Peaks, and like I said, this is only a short video, so.
I know, but you invited me on. You started saying we're going to talk about Twin Peaks and the Tulpa Forum and blah blah blah, and then we started talking about Dial of Destiny. So I just want to know: do you want to go back to that topic or just not?
Well, I think we've covered Dial of Destiny enough now. I think I would say that for people who are quite undemanding like me, it's a decent enough, enjoyable film, and it did have elements in it towards the end which were, for me, brought a tear to the eye. So what more do you want, really? And I don't know, maybe they just can't cope with the fact that it's the end of Indiana Jones. Anyway, to go back to the issue of Twin Peaks breaking news and rumor and everything relating to your video you did with Mr. C and everything.
Yeah. We
spoke. Okay, Mandela Man's coming now, but maybe he can talk about Indiana Jones when we finished all that, okay? Or, whatever. And we're just talking a bit more about Twin Peaks rumors and stuff, Mandela Man, okay? So welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, I spoke to you in private about everything, and unless you're like the world's best Oscar-winning actor or something, I found what you were saying to be convincing, and I went away thinking, okay, there's something in there that's truthful, So I don't see any issue with your kind of videos where you're sort of talking about breaking news or a rumor in terms of Lynch making different things, because it tallies with the kind of things that I've heard and found out, i.e. Lynch having a lot of handymen go to his property. I mean, we know he likes having people come and visit him who do stuff, whether they're called Pierre or whatever, I don't know. Like he had one handyman called Pierre for a long time. But yeah, I find it believable. So,
But, all I'm trying to do is just let the fans know that for a long time there's been smoke, and where there's smoke, there's been fire, and it seems like it's all culminating now, and we're going to find out soon whatever it is, and that's something to look forward to. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
I needed that.
No, I think that the constant sort of, I can't really into an argument, for instance, with like Roland, who runs the page Lynchland, and they really want to sort of banish any rumors. There's a lot of that going on, but I don't really know why that is, because I think it's because they want to have the first say on anything. And so if it's not coming from a source that they know of, or it's someone who's, particularly close to them, then they'll just immediately pour cold water all over it.
I don't know. I didn't try to post over there, so I have no idea. I do know that they've posted statements and rumors before coming from the Twin Peaks fan community about things. So, but again, I didn't try to post this at all with Lynchland. I figure if something is substantial enough that somebody wants to share it, they can share it on their own. I don't need to share this to other people and then feel like burned if they don't share it. You know what I mean? Just like if they want to share it, cool. If not, whatever. It's all good.
No, it's best not to force these things on people. But I think, for instance, when you go to what was basically the Tulpa Forum, and then on there, I've been a member on and off on Tulpa. I think one time I got banned because I was arguing with Davrin quite kind of blatantly. But I don't quite understand sometimes the kind of responses they have to rumors as well, because they're sort of very, what I see as being somewhat overzealous to trounce anybody like yourself on there. And I don't exactly know, because I think some posts were deleted, etc.
Well, yesterday I registered a long time ago for that site, but yesterday was the first time I went on there to kind of read stuff, because I heard that Fate Colossal had posted about my video on there. So I was just curious what people were saying about it. And I have to say, because we all know there are eyes and ears always listening, the admins, and I don't know who they are, but the admins of the Tulpa forum are much more mature and level-headed than they ever were on the previous forum. So I want to definitely give a shout out to them. I think that they don't jump to conclusions, and they were very easy to talk with and deal with. And so I think that whatever that forum ends up becoming in the grand scheme of things, I feel like right now it seems like it's got a very level-headed group of admins on there. And what more can you ask for? So
I
can't
can go
speak.
on there and like downvote Davrin's comments, for instance. That's
People were downloading my comments all the time yesterday. But whatever. I have no idea, because I went back and looked at the comment they were downvoting. And I was like, I didn't say anything controversial. It's just the fact that I was on the forum posting. That alone made people downvote. But I also
I only downvote Davrin because he called himself Agent Earl, which is like, to me, the most camp thing I've ever heard. I mean, that's ridiculous.
He named himself after a character in my film. But I'm sure, like Doug Pud, there are people on there with multiple accounts. So.
Oh yeah, I've got 20 accounts on there now. So.
Dang.
I believe that.
Just a way of me keeping kind of my, well, Davrin actually said that I'm a stirrer on there. So, I mean, that is one of the worst crimes known to man, to be a stirrer.
I responded to one person's comment yesterday, and then Davrin came out swinging and attacked me in like 2 or 3 comments in a row. So much so that the admin deleted his comments and apologized for the behavior on there.
Good to see that they're changing like their ways a little bit.
But these are different admins. These aren't like old admins that have seen the error of their ways. They're new people, so they're coming in fresh.
Yeah, I figured.
But I had one guy that was criticizing me, and his comment got deleted as well. And he, I'll give a shout out to him. His name is Ickles, I think his name is on there, and he actually private messaged me and apologized, and we wrote back and forth a few times, and he said, wow, I may have gotten your character misjudged, and that's all I ask is like, just treat me like a human being, and you'll realize I'm not the boogeyman that people try to make me out to be.
Yeah, we're
the Baba Yaga.
We're a community of people. We can't be fighting amongst ourselves all the time.
There's so few of us.
Exactly. We might not agree on everything, but
the trouble with the
end of the day,
for instance, the Tulpa forum is it's so boys club in that there's literally, I mean that, as in there's literally no females on there at all, because they're so put off by like somebody posted something and then Davrin responded as Agent Earl with friggin' A or something. And it's like, it's just so kind of like 40-year-old men pretending to still be like 21 or something, like, hey, girlfriend,
I was only on there for a little.
I want to get on camera,
Well, let me just say that, because I usually get blamed for everything you say. I just want to say that I was on there for a little bit yesterday. Yes, I mean, it seemed like an updated version of the Dugpa forum, but I will have to say that because the management seems to be so much better than it was previously, I'm not opposed to coming back and reading stuff.
It's better. It's better than it was, definitely. And what I'm saying is, there's more of a reason for it to flourish, and flower as a sort of way of being not 100% males sitting like somewhere in a puddle of mud, just throwing it at everybody, like Davrin, basically. This kind of, he said to me, like, ever since basically the return came out, I've essentially been miserable online, being miserable to everyone. And it's just like, that's 6 years. Can't you just at least accept things for how they are and be civil towards people? You don't have to go around being like, I hated the return and you like it. Fuck you, basically. I mean, That's literally
Yeah,
his
that's a
level.
good point. I agree with that.
Well, here's the thing I'm going to say. If you absolutely hated Twin Peaks season 3, I don't care if you like the first 2 seasons in the movie. If you absolutely hated season 3 from start to finish, and you shouldn't even be on a Twin Peaks forum at this point in time, because that's what.
No, I
everyone's
agree with that
talking
because
about.
it's basically like you trying to. It's like he's got some kind of real nostalgia for sort of like Dugper or something like that, and how it used to be before we had the return, and so everything could be for him like, oh, just imagine if there's an agent, if there's Wyndham Ale in the return or season 3, that'll be great. Didn't happen at all. Oh no, like all my toys thrown out of the pram and like I've shit myself, and basically it's just when you're not even wearing a nappy.
Doug Forum came
No.
this close to actually being shut down by Showtime. This close, folks. So
Little closer, but yeah, I get the point.
yeah.
No, but I think like it comes down to like, okay, where are all your confidential papers? Oh, I'm hiding them like top secret in the toilet. Like, oh, do you really think that's kind of what a man in his 70s should be doing? I don't give a F what a man in his 70s should be doing. This is what I'm doing. It's top secret in there, okay? That's the level of like some people within the Twin Peaks community, I think. It's just...
Look, there are wonderful people in the Twin Peaks fan community, but I have... I mean, maybe it's because I don't...
To be fair, not many.
I don't peruse other fan bases, but I will say this. Lynch fans can be some of the like nastiest human beings I've ever seen online. Like the people just be like, "What's your source? Prove it." It's like, dude, I don't even know you.
They're just not very. They're a bit not very subtle, and they have a tendency towards being a bit.
There was one guy, James, on the Twin Peaks Worldwide that like he listens to every single Twin Peaks podcast out there, reads every Blue Rose magazine, and yet I post a video on there and he goes, "I don't have an hour. Can somebody sum this up for me?" And I said, "No." And I deleted it.
Oh my God.
Like, what an a-hole.
But there is a real tendency within the Twin Peaks community, and I don't put myself above anyone, speaking from my own perspective and people like Davrin, like the reason he kind of, I can understand how he is, but it's incredibly solipsistic. It's incredibly like, just tunnel vision. Like this is
myopic.
what I see.
Yeah.
Like this is my own point of view on everything. Like basically F everything else. That's it.
Well, let's just be completely honest, okay? Davrin's greatest moment in the last few years was the moment when you and I stopped talking. We got an argument about something, a few things, and Davrin started playing both of us by talking to you privately, me privately, and then when he got found out and we blocked him and we stopped talking to him, or at least I stopped talking to him, and I blocked him on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. He took that opportunity on the Topol forum to come after me because he has no other way to address me, and that was his form of revenge because he literally has no life.
Can I make a public service announcement on behalf of Coffee Time? Everybody who's a fan of coffee, damn fine Coffee Time at this time.
Coffee Team. I've changed the name now.
Of course.
Damn fine Coffee Time. Believers.
We gotta change it a 13th time. I know.
No, it's called Believers because I'm thinking about the immense critical and box office success of Exorcist Believer, which could be as good, I think, possibly as Exorcist the Heretic.
So my service announcement.
It's possible.
We here at Coffee Time are worse than a pack of old lady sewing circles when it comes to gossip. And if you watch Coffee Time, everybody's personal lives and things get amplified. But I think we're all comfortable, the hosts, that we're open books and we share our lives online. But things do get magnified online. So when you
watch nude photo albums, many people ask me for those when the show ends.
There's a tendency for those to go around. You're correct. Yes. So just
I mean,
Take us with
I sent some of those today to Voltaire saying, "Do you want to be on the show again?" And no answer for some. I don't know why.
I asked him too. Yeah.
No, if he ever does want to come back, he's welcome. Obviously, he said he will, but I don't. He's probably angered about this whole thing with Davorin. So
I think what happened is Voltaire got a very big, high-profile case, and he cannot afford anyone finding out he's on the show.
Is that true, or have you mean you're guessing, or?
No,
I'm just assuming because he was on the show for 6+ years. I mean, why all of a sudden would he just stop?
The timing lines up with writer strike, so I'm thinking he's a writer in Hollywood. Now he's on strike.
It's more likely just to do with behind the scenes and things which we should just respect, that people sort of they've got their own private issues, and I've spoke to him. He says those are things for me to deal with privately. Yeah. And I think sometimes, like with me, I was too open, bringing in stuff like bipolar or whatever. And I mean, whilst it can be relevant, like a lot of people can actually discuss Twin Peaks as being very bipolar in itself. But
the thing that disturbed me the most, James, was that I did a live video outside the Best Buy parking lot, or inside the Best Buy parking lot. I was on live for 10 seconds. And somebody said, "Hey, you still got." I had a little piece of string cheese from my Taco Bell on my chin. I didn't know. I went, "Oh my god!" So I hit. Thank you. So I clicked off and then restarted it. I was only online for 10 seconds, and somebody screenshotted that and sent it to you, and then you played it on your show.
Kevin Ball, he did it. He finds
she just tells you what.
No, I told Kevin before that, and
yeah, I just can't believe that.
Not a question.
But why is somebody screen shooting me for 10 seconds? This is what I'm talking about. This is what
I don't know. Just by chance. But the thing is, he told me, he says, "Have you noticed that Cameron is live now in a car park or in his car?" And I said, "No, I'm not watching. I don't have notifications on anything really, apart from when I'm on the laptop, And, I posted it to you. But what's even stranger about this whole situation is Kevin now has gone to Poland, and he's been through some of the LODZ, as it's spelled, the place where they filmed some of Inland Empire with his now, partner. So he actually went past a bar, and on the front of the window it says "Bang Bang."
Oh,
he sent the picture to me. So I don't know what the hell is happening, but there's something strange going on. That's all I'm saying, and I'm not lying about any of this. It's true, because I've actually been to that city. I went there with a Polish female who would have very long baths when I was there. I don't know why, but
let me just ask you, James, why is Davorin, who was kissing our butts 3 years ago every 5 seconds online, is now just antagonistic and angry every single post?
Davorin is my biggest fan. That's why.
What the hell did I do to this guy? You think I came in and killed his whole family or something? He's just he's seriously, he does nothing.
I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think he identified with you in some ways as a creative type, and things like that. And he has now sort of just taken a complete vault face into being rubbishing you because you've blocked him. That's it. Because he wants to be able to write to you in person and say, "Oh, James said this," or whatever, and just.
But you're talking about somebody who you used to make fun of his face and then say that you wanted to assault him on a bridge and eat his buttocks. I mean, and
no, I said I'd eat him. I don't know.
Eat his ass up.
Not his ass. It was like Sarah Palmer where she attacks the pit. All I'll say is, Davorin, just be more civilized in the chat if you want to stay in it today, because this is just.
He's kind of entertaining, but
he's not, because when you think about it as being he's focusing too much on Cameron, and he'll do.
He's got good movie. He can suggest good. He watches a lot of good things. I don't know why he just focus on movies. Yeah, forget about Cameron and James.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just he was a major supporter of Cameron and his fan film and everything, apart from the fact that he never contributed to it. But on the other hand, he does live in Slovenia, and maybe
Well,
he has no money, whatever. But
the thing that bothered me was Davern would always like write to me and say, "Can you do this kind of show? Can you do this kind of show? Can you do this? And how about this guest and this and that?" And I'm like, "Can you like throw in $1 into my Patreon if you're gonna make all these requests? If I'm gonna spend the time doing it?" Never did. So, oh well, it's fine. That's fine. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna start requesting me to do a bunch of things for you, maybe support the
I
channel.
know, but the thing with Davern is he likes to pretend that it's still like the 90s or something. Like, he'll go back and watch a lot of 90s TV and things like this. And I'm not against it, but I'll just say to him, I get a bit fed up of watching older TV like that because the picture quality is worse and I'm just not interested in it. But he's genuinely into it, you know?
So I called him out yesterday on the forum and I said, "Listen, Agent Earl, I have no idea who you are. But see, now I do know who you are, Davern. So, but you never I asked you to DM me and we would talk it out privately. You chose not to do that, but now I know who you are. So anytime you say anything about me on there, I will just talk to the administrators and delete your comment, and that'll be the end of it because you're too chicken to confront me one-on-one."
Yeah, just so that people know, it's not like that I'm behind the scenes saying, "Oh, Cameron, look at Tulpa." You know,
No.
It's all over there.
No.
You'd already looked on there, hadn't you?
Because somebody told me, Fake Colossal said that he posted about my video on there, and I just was curious what people would say about it. And
it's not like me and you sit around having like 4-hour-long videos saying, "Well, this is our plan of attack on the Tulpa forum. What should we do?" You know,
I have nothing against the Tulpa forum.
No, me neither. I'm not saying it seems better than it used to be. That's all. When it was called Dugpa, basically. You know?
But it's not. It's not Dugpa though.
No, it's a different thing.
Yeah. None of the admins from Dugpa are on Tulpa, and that is the best thing overall.
Yeah, i.e. Brad Dukes, who was a complete mentalist, basically. So
yeah, I did find out that he was one of the primary people that made sure that I was always blocked on the Dugpa forum, which is kind of funny because he says, "I'm done with Twin Peaks. I don't care about Twin Peaks anymore," and yet he was running the Dugpa forum. Like, that's so bizarre.
Yeah, but the thing is, he probably associates you with me, so I'm to blame for some of that. So
I'm the one that helped get Brad Duke's exposure to begin with. I gave him his first online interview for his book. He should be very nice to me.
Yeah, something happened. I mean, it probably didn't help that somebody decided to organize for him to get beat up in Nashville because he was such a dick, you know.
I know nothing about that, but
I'm not saying I was gloating about that or anything, as I heard his cracking. And I'm definitely not saying I want that to happen to Davern either. I mean, I've already put a hit out, but, you know, it's fine. Just listen for the sound of Davern's body, you know, smashing into a brook.
Also,
okay. Okay. Wow.
It's behind my place.
A little discretion.
I've invited
I think I'm
Davern
just
around here.
joking, but
No, he's coming here for a holiday, and then I'm going to throw his body off of a bridge. I've already alerted the local police, etc., and then
he's already wrote everything. You let them know ahead of time.
I'll immediately be arrested and everything.
They're going to let you do it and then proceed to arrest you after you've done it. Okay.
No, they're filming it for posterity.
They're filming it.
Like aerial.
Can we
talk about something sensible?
Yeah.
I want to hear Mandela Man's thoughts on Indiana Jones. Is what I want to hear.
Oh yeah,
he hasn't seen it.
no, I saw it. I saw it last night. Yeah, it was. Hold on, sir. Talk amongst yourselves. I was gonna say, you know, for our viewers, don't be posting anything online unless you want it seen all over the world.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if people are in the chat, can you just like, i.e. Davern, not leave like 10 messages in a row because it makes you look like you're a complete mentalist, basically. So
Mentalist.
Well, it doesn't exactly, you know.
Ooh, I like the hat. Nice.
Shout.
Very cool.
Yeah, Davern's now on timeout for 5 minutes, I think, or so.
All right.
Just ruins the entire chat because it's like that is basically the definition of narcissism, where you just go into a chat and it's all your comments. You know, you're not using the chat, are you?
Yeah, but sometimes we only have a few commenters tuning in live, so it's you know, in that case, when there's only 3 people commenting, I mean, yeah, I don't really mind it so much that somebody.
Well, if 3
It's,
people
be-
commenting,
it's better to have nobody than 3 people like just trolling the chat, though.
Oh, you think so?
surely if
I
there's only
do.
3 people in there, you should take your time, like leave a couple of messages, then leave it. Like that's what I'd do. See if anyone responds. If they don't respond, don't immediately send 10 messages in a row of you basically wanking off in the chat. You know.
If I could say something positive about Davern, he does have good movie recommendations. If he stuck to that and limited it how many times he commented, he'd be really good.
Davern has the capability of being a decent person. I have not spoken to him directly, but I have messaged him back and forth for a while, James. I thought maybe it was one of your alternate accounts, but
What if his many?
because you seem to have similar sometimes interest in you. But when he is on,
Well, I don't know about
like
that.
decent, good behavior, he was fine. I had no for years. He was on my comments in my chat, and I never had a problem with him. He didn't have a. I just got tired of the back and forth and trying to stir it up with me and James, and so I just kind of took a break. And that's when he turned on me, and that's when he became good friends with other people in the online community that are vengeful as well. And so it was like teaming up of Batman villains.
I get that. That's actually an analogy I can get. Yeah, I get that.
Well, I'm not talking about how he is in real life, because obviously I don't know Davern in real life.
Yeah, you're talking about the online persona. Yeah,
I'm just talking about this kind of
yeah.
clamoring for attention. Like, I can understand why people do that kind of thing, because, where else can you do that? I mean, in day-to-day life, you can't go around shouting at everybody going, "Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm amazing." If you did that,
Yeah, you get
people would think you were like,
yeah,
certifiably insane.
Well, that's what I mean by the internet amplifying the minutia of people's lives to the point where it becomes like our lives are content in themselves. The story to itself. You know what I mean?
Well, I've done it, haven't I? For instance, I've told people about my, personal things and stuff to a degree where it may have become self-indulgent on my part, and in the end, it can actually backfire, because it kind of gives people an impression of you that may not even be that accurate.
No, it's not the full picture. Yeah,
it's just sort of an exaggeration of kind of, I don't get up in the morning and start like running up a hill and punching a bag and like being Rocky or something, and going, "Hey!"
I would watch that video if he did that.
Let me just say, it's not officially announced yet, but in the fall they're coming out with the Rocky and Creed 4K box set of all of them together.
OMG!
Yeah.
Well, I know that the Rocky IV recut version is already available, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
that's all right. And I was still like the original.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I mean, for me anyway, I'm really like Rocky 1, 2, and 3, and Rocky Balboa, and that's about it, really.
Yeah,
like Rocky 4 is just like a 90-minute like montage.
That's cool with me.
That's fine. I don't think there's much need for like Stallone to go, "Okay, I'm going to make it a serious film now." But if he wants to do that, fine. I can understand why. But totally, I don't know, cutting out Burt Young and his relationship with a robot is always a shame, I think, because I mean, that's a beautiful thing that a man can have a relationship with a robot, and in the 80s, especially, I mean, the children watching that, they would be going home, "Mum, where can I get a sex robot?"
Yeah,
it's not that kind of robot.
It is.
Not what?
You know what Burt Young's like? He's like a typical. He was always in films as a sort of stereotype of a Latino, or not Latino, Italian. I mean, sorry, not Latino, like Italian kind of bore. Like the same in Amityville 2. Immediately sees a bit of like writing on a wall by a demonic spirit using paintbrushes going flying up. He's immediately whipping off his belt. Belting his children, aged about 7 and 5 or something. I mean,
so James, I have to tell you this because you just reminded me about it. I have to let you know, and I'll let Johnny and Mandela Man know too if they want to help you.
Yeah,
I got.
Can you call Mandela Dr. Hook from now on?
Dr.
Dr. Hook.
Okay.
Why?
Dr.
Hook.
He's a singer that used to have a better house.
I was contacted by somebody who is putting together a group of short films by filmmakers that are that they need to be made. You just have two rules, James. You have to deal somewhat with aliens or mention aliens in some way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it has to take place, even if you don't shoot it there, it has to take place in the town of Amityville. And so I was thinking maybe Johnny Mandela Man and you can come up with a story, and James can shoot a 20-minute Amityville film in England, and it'll be put on this DVD box set. The guy said every film that comes in will be put on the box set. And so you will have an officially released Amityville film.
Well, even if it's completely terrible.
Yes.
Wow.
So I know I want to be throwing like a fake body off of a bridge in a film that could, like one of those ones where it's like, the arms and legs are flailing wildly.
Yeah.
So you can just have it in Amityville, and you could say something about aliens, or you could have it be entirely about aliens.
I.e. RoboCop.
But they want something around
aliens in Amityville.
Or you don't even have to have aliens in Amityville, but you got to just mention. Someone has to just bring up, "Hey, did you watch Aliens last night?" There, you brought it up, or something. Or
it'd be easier. Did you see those lights in the sky yesterday? Well, who guys making the aliens?
That's it. That's it. But it just has to take place in Amityville. And I think if you shoot it around, Darby, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, he's got a point there. Yeah, you got.
I love it, and I think you would actually do it justice. I can put you in touch with the guy.
When is it due for?
What?
When is it got to be done for?
I believe by the fall, but I can catch you. I'm gonna put you in touch with the guy if you're interested, and I'm serious. You guys have always been talking about wanting to collaborate on a project. Here's your chance.
Have I?
Yeah.
And I would love it to say a James Woolley film, Amityville.
I mean, that would be a great achievement, and also I can say I've seen every Amityville film ever made. That is,
I think you have, yeah.
You've seen Amityville in space?
No, I've not. I mean, I'm joking. Obviously, I've only ever seen
where the house is
on the second. That's it.
I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't even know that existed. Oh my god, I gotta check that out.
That's a movie in this reality, Cam. What's going on?
That's a reality. There's a movie where the house is floating around in space. It's called Amityville in space.
It can't be
What's wrong with that? That sounds plausible.
Load up the trailer.
Like Leprechaun in space. Leprechaun in space. Oh my
Can
god.
we see the trailer?
All over again.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely see this.
Brother, who's my writing partner.
You could do like, the Amityville house is nearing Uranus.
Yes.
And now it's in Uranus. I mean, but no, I remember actually going past the cinema in my local town, and it had Amityville 3D on, and I was like, oh, get out.
You should do a movie about a character named Davrin being prodded by aliens in Amityville.
Probably, but I mean, even as a young child, I saw Amityville 3D, like the poster, they put it up on a kind of crappy board at the front, and I just looked at it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, the poster is just like, isn't it like a hand or something coming out, or like it's something really? It just looks shit. You just, even as a youngster, you're aware like when movies have gone a bit crap. Like, I remember I saw the Porky's poster at the cinema, and I was like, oh, that's a good film.
Yeah, right.
It's got an eye looking through a hole, and there's a naked woman there.
Well, those were the age of amazing covers. They don't do covers like that anymore. That's a lost art.
One, please.
Lost art.
Can you put up the search page for Amityville in space? I want Mandela Man to see the thumbnail. It's amazing.
I can't believe this.
Brand movie, Cam, or something, or
what
part of the? Is it an official part of the series?
No, because you can name any movie Amityville and not be sued for it because it's a town.
No shit.
But if you name any movie Amityville, it will get officially released. And this guy is putting together an entire box set of short films taking place in Amityville, and he told me every one that gets submitted will be on the disc, and the more obviously there'll be a volume 2, and
I got the writing part of it. Yeah.
All right. I just want you to. You have to see the thumbnail for this movie, though.
It's like that film, The House in the Woods or whatever. It looks a bit inspired by that, but probably an improved version, actually.
Oh, come on. What is this Cthulhu nightmare? There's no way the movie's as good as this poster.
Look at that bitch. Your bitch is up there.
That's great.
But it's kind of like selling it to people who want to see something which is taken, tongue in cheek, basically. I mean,
Right. When was it going to happen? Thank God it's in space now. I didn't know what I was going to do.
The next one's got to be time travel now.
That'd be amazing.
Don't mention time travel right now.
Did you ever see the Amityville Murders, James, where like they had the cast of Amityville 2 come back and reprise the other characters of the family?
Wait a minute.
No.
So
I don't know anything about that.
The actors from movie 2 did
like so like the daughter Diane Franklin comes back as the mother in the new version.
Oh yes.
Okay. Well, I can imagine it's probably not as good as Amityville 2, but because that would be an impossibility. I mean, this is an example of, again, another exemplary man, really, the ideal father here in this film, I would say.
Oh yeah.
There it's just having another moment of laying down the law as a man, which I always appreciate in a film. No, but Burt Young was so like typecast as that character in every film, like the most terrible slob and like violent bastard. But you've got to give him credit for doing it well, really.
My favorite of his is playing Rodney Dangerfield's driver in Back to School.
Yeah, that was good.
I should watch that.
Yeah.
Sure, I'd enjoy that one. This is actually your earlier band you were in, Mandela Man. I just found a picture of.
Oh yeah. Not far off, actually. To be honest.
Dr. Hook and his band there.
Yeah.
That is what you call a boys' club. That's probably all of the members of Tulpa now, the forum. So with Davrin at the back with the moustache, like laughing in a kind of maniac type fashion.
The one that looks like he's about to be killed by the son of Sam.
Well, he actually he's actually holding his penis in that, but you can't see because it's not that there's a law against that. I mean, it's, a lot of rock bands do that kind of stuff. Ed Sheeran recently exposed himself on stage, and I give him credit for that. It's
a new brave new world, I tell you.
Didn't the singer from the Doors do that and get like arrested? Or...
Yeah, he didn't. Apparently, he didn't actually do it.
He put his finger through. Yeah.
No, you're thinking of Ed Sheeran, the rock and roll controversial artist who made a song called Lego House about Lego.
I
actually like that song, but I do think that he's like so vanilla, Yeah,
sometimes I wonder if Jim Morrison actually did stick it out, and because it wasn't that great, later on he was like, "Yeah, that was my finger." Bro.
Well, how many flaccid penises do people look at and go, "That's a great," Joe Powers sent me a picture of his flaccid penis once, and I was like, Joe, what the hell's happening? This is really taking it to the next level.
We should have Davrin send his in so we can judge it.
He said, like, sorry, I had a bit too much to drink last night.
I have a feeling Davrin's is a 7.8.
So I was thinking, like, yeah, that's what I do when I've had too much to drink.
It's a high score.
My flaccid penis and then send it to somebody on Facebook.
I think that's a testament to how lonely people are, though, too. A lot of these naked pictures just go flying everywhere now.
There's too much to drink,
Well, is somebody sending a picture of a flaccid penis to a male friend who they're in regular contact with for a missing Cooper?
To be honest, James, these things were done when he was kind of tipsy and didn't know what he was doing.
Never mind sniffing substances off of toilet seats or whatever.
Oh my god!
Live on.
I love when he was on the video and people thought he was doing cocaine on the video, and they have literal timestamps in the comment section about every time he sniffs.
Well, then we actually had somebody who designed posters, and he made the one for the Art Life, the Lynch documentary that came out, and then he was actually on a video, and he seemed out of it, and then he disappeared. Next minute, he's got all white powder across his face here. I'm like,
It's so unprofessional. You
I
can't wait
remember
till you're
that.
done. Can't wait till it's
it's
done.
not happening. Now he's married and everything, and gone completely respectable. So I think some people just need to go through that stage.
You have to go through your Fine Coffee Time low level stage to pass through the gates, right?
The gauntlet.
It's
It's the
basically
dweller on the
for people-
threshold. You gotta pass
It's for
through it.
people who never rebelled as a child. Then they have to go. They have to go crazy when they're in the 30s or 40s.
James, you gotta just name this place the Dweller on the Threshold. Like, you gotta pass through here to gain respectability.
I like that.
You gotta confront your shadow self weekly at 11 a.m. on Sundays here.
No, that's already
It's a challenge, you know. I accept
To
it.
be fair, that's Charlotte Nightstar's business. The Dweller
Come
on the
on,
Threshold.
you're right.
I don't want to demean her, so she's written some good stuff, and so I wish her well.
She's.
Okay.
I haven't seen her around lately. Is she all right?
She's been off for about a week. Yeah, I don't know what's up.
No, it was just to do with like people writing to each other behind the scenes, and I said, like, if everybody wasn't writing to each other behind the scenes with whatever, I don't care if people are sending each other nude pictures or standing naked in a garden with melons in front of your boobs or whatever.
What is going on in your private chats?
Trust me,
Voltaire
it's not that exciting.
I've said
No,
this.
it's not that exciting, but it's just there was nothing going on in the chat because everybody was chatting privately, apart from me, obviously. Everybody was just avoiding me from a long distance.
Because sometimes we'll say something and you're just like, what? He'll jump on whatever we just said. I'm so sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense to that.
No, it's not so much. No, I mean, with whatever Miss Charlotte Nightstar was doing and everything, she's like only 20 and everything, and
What
you
happened?
can't just go in someone else's chat and then like set up other groups and then other chats and like then just be promoting all about yourself all the time. Like, I've written this, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what she did. I read it and it was good mostly, but it's its own thing. You've got to do your own videos for that and stuff. That's what I've said to her, and so hopefully she will.
It's good advice. Yeah. I'm sure she'll take
I don't have anything issue with her, although she was, trying to start a love affair with Voltaire. She did actually say to me that she would go out and find where he lived. And I was like, at that point, I'm like, is this supposed to be a joke or what? Or is this real? And I said, you're not going to be able to find where he lives and everything. And it's like, but I think it's when I was 20, I probably would have had things like that going on. I would have wanted to travel across states to stalk people.
You would have traveled to find Voltaire.
He would have found him by now. He would have found him.
Well, all right, if it was sort of a female living in, 500 miles away from me, yes, I would have got on a bus, just turned up outside the house, staring, wearing a Michael Myers.
Or just all just denim, like Bob. Just like Bob.
No, I mean, I think everybody has their own different outlook on things. Like, for instance, I talked to people on forums when I was at university and then met someone, for instance, who was into AHA. And it's like, but back then you couldn't even see a photo of them. You only were writing on alt.music. TV Twin Peaks or, AHA, obsessives, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, it's comical, really, because then you meet somebody and you're like, oh, okay. They're not like a model, but
Are there any plans for you to visit Marlena or vice versa? Because you guys are real fun to watch together.
well, she said that that you should go to Ireland, perhaps, where she was, but she's moved back to Romania now. So I've been to Romania twice in the past, so
Should go back.
that's not an impossibility.
Is it fairly easy to get out there from where you are?
Well, you can fly straight to Bucharest, but she lives further out, so I'd be reliant on other people, wouldn't I? So,
to get you
especially as a non-driver. But if I could get the chance to go there to meet her and also to make more of, you know, Amityville out in Romania, that would be ideal.
Oh, hey, it would be that would be astounding if you could make an Amityville film out half in
Well-
Derby and half in Romania.
Ray Wise has filmed some stuff in Romania, and he actually is half Romanian, so in his ancestry. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a massive likelihood because it's too short notice and stuff. But she's a good collaborator to have on the videos for sure, and quite funny as well because she'll say things about, and I don't really always know when she's joking. I mean, she's talking about the Enfield haunting and stuff like that, and it's like the girls jumping from beds and all that, and then they get capturing a photo of them, and it's like, oh my god, they fly through the air. She'll be like,
terrified there.
no, I think this is real. I don't know, but especially in places like Romania, there's like you just go down the street and every
just hauntings everywhere.
No, there's like crosses and, you know,
People are
religious sort of little statues and things like that, as well as churches, obviously. But it's got that kind of feel like you're going back into, like, you know, hundreds of years ago in some places where there's all cows going down the road. And I went to Bran as well, where there's the Bran Castle, Dracula's castle.
That's cool.
And it was very, very moody.
That's very cool.
Beautiful, but moody. And
somewhere Indiana Jones goes when he's younger.
Oh, is that the castle there the shot in?
In the Chronicles show.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Last Crusade when he's in that castle.
On the last episode of the show, he goes and visits Vlad in the castle.
Cool.
Did you know in the classic movies? I don't know which one it was. Apparently, there's hieroglyphics and they have like the Star Wars characters on them. Is that true?
Well, of course.
I didn't know that until recently.
Well, Johnny, at the beginning of Temple of Doom, the club is called Club Obi-Wan.
Also,
how did I not notice these?
in Close Encounters, Johnny, when the UFO mothership comes down, C-3PO is actually on that mothership. You can see it.
My mind has been blown now.
How cool would it be to tie all that stuff together, like
in one film?
And don't forget, in Phantom Menace, if you saw it in the I mean, it's still there, but it's smaller. You can't really see it. But in the theater, in the Senate, when they're all in the Senate, E.T. is there.
Yes, that was cool.
And that is why in E.T., when he sees the kid dressed up as Yoda, he gets excited because they're saying that that they were in the Senate.
Oh wow. Very cool.
I just bring up this image. This is an actual image that happened.
See, I like all that. That's very
I took this photo of my sister when she was young, and it is still frightening.
Isn't that the girl from The Conjuring 2?
You walked in, you're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
This was a real incident, but Marlena was saying that the pictures of David's soul and Starsky and Hutch on the wall, like middle-aged men. That's more terrifying. But I said they weren't middle-aged. Everybody just looked older then.
Yeah.
You know what's
mustache,
very bizarre is that in Corey Haim's room in The Lost Boys, he's got a centerfold of Rob Lowe with like half a shirt on the closet door.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not exactly.
I've seen James.
It's not exactly subtle, is it, mate? Like in
no, they let Joel Schumacher do the set design. Apparently,
my impression of Philip there from. It's not exactly subtle, is it, mate? He's
the only man. Joel Schumacher's the only man.
That was a good reference.
But Corey Haim wouldn't even be thinking about that. Like, it's Joel Schumacher just putting it there and going, "Oh yeah, I'll get that photo up there."
Yeah.
Schumacher's the only one I know who has like a 1,000+ racked up number on Google as far as how many men he slept with. I mean, I don't know any other celebrity where you can Google that and get an answer. You know what I mean?
James, I'm going to send you the picture now.
No, I think that maybe Corey Haim may have chosen it because I think that maybe Corey was famously quite bisexual. He may have been bipolar as well.
Maybe.
He's keeping all the buys going.
He's keeping all.
Oh God, that kid!
No,
he decided to ruin the entire film.
This kid had to take a piss so badly, and they just kept it in.
No, but he's like pointing at himself with a smug look on his face. Like,
he had to go badly. He's like, "You there? I gotta go."
It's like that That friend, that sort of so-called friend, you know, in school who's like doing something weird.
No,
Like,
but that just
trying
goes to show you that even at the highest of filmmaking levels, everybody's
Yeah.
looking at one thing and not noticing something else in the corner.
I honestly think they put that in there on purpose. I'll be honest. That it was filmed accidentally, and then
I think it was not. That was not originally in the film. They've added it in afterwards.
That wasn't added in
Because
the background.
Robert Zemeckis is sick.
Yeah, I don't mean that. I mean they accidentally. It happened.
Should be tried in courts of law. Because I saw that film in the cinema. I never saw that shit going on.
Frankly, the kid wasn't even there.
Wanking.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like very early sexual maturity. He was
Hey
like,
man, in Goonies, it starts off
doing Michael Jackson. Like.
coming up with statues. So is it really out of
No, it's more than that. Mandela Man
Oh,
is more than that. You have Corey Feldman talking about all the torture devices in the, in the attics. And stuff.
Oh, yeah, the kid's name is Mouth too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 80s movies. I know you're gonna get all that craziness, cocaine fuel.
Hello there, Tony.
I love you, Steven Spielberg, by the way, but yeah.
I know it's kind of unbelievable, really, though, isn't it? To be honest.
It's weird in a lot of the movies.
I sent you the picture on Facebook, James, so you know.
You mean of Corey Haim?
Yeah, I just want to just kind of pay off.
Well, you met him, didn't you?
I did meet him. He was very happy to take my $20.
Oh wow!
And then his mom took his $20 from him and put it in her purse.
You said he was flirting with your wife as well.
Oh my God.
He paid no attention to me. He barely said one thing to me, but he got up and wrapped his arms around my wife, and I took a picture of them.
Mm.
This
Which
photo's
is
a
fine.
bit suggestive, actually.
I could care less. My favorite part, though, was that later that night, he bummed a smoke off my friends and then got up on stage with the with one of the Lost Boys singers and started playing the Moroccans on stage.
I didn't bring up the saxophone, huh?
No, it wasn't that guy.
That was the high point of his career.
It was the guy who sang "Cry Little Sister."
Oh, okay.
Not the saxophonist, no.
No.
Oh, boy.
He put on a bit of weight after that and doesn't look quite as ripped anymore. So,
That was it for him.
well, this happens to us all, doesn't it? I mean,
Mhm.
I used to be absolutely ripped just 2 years ago.
Just 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's really a suggestion shot there.
Davrin kept going on about Rob Lowe to me, actually, saying that he's in
Right at the level there.
some kind of remake of, is it Salem's Lot? Or
Oh, they're doing another one.
was he in a remake of Salem's Lot? Or?
Yes, he was.
He was also
And I said,
in
I said, I don't like Rob Lowe. And he went, why not?
Anything else?
The Stand. He was also in The Stand.
I just don't like, I always associate Rob Lowe with San Telmo's Fire.
Yeah,
But
That's a good one. I like that.
about last
Is it?
night.
It's all right.
no, I mean, he is probably quite a good actor, in fact.
Is
But
it?
I always think San Telmo's Fire is such a waste of all that acting talent.
What saved his career
Bro.
is that he was a good actor, but what saved his career was the fact that he proved he could do comedy with like Wayne's World, and that's what kind of kept him
Yeah,
around for a while.
definitely. He's good in Parks and Recreation, or what I've seen of him in that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Rob Lowe is he has kind of a restless kind of nature about himself, so he
Oh,
can't.
was I gonna?
stay-
Do you think he's like the poor man's Kyle MacLachlan? Like, you know what I mean? Like he's the like which?
That's interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
What
no,
I'm trying to say,
because
like,
he'll join a project, and if it doesn't take off, cool. But if it does, he'll stay around only a little bit before he takes off. Like in West Wing, like he had a career comeback, and then he was just like, I'm out of here after like 3 years,
wow.
and then it went on for like 9 seasons.
Yeah.
but he often says, if there's not a scene where I've got to oil my abs, I'm leaving. Okay.
I was a big fan of that show, but I couldn't stand the last season, bro. I couldn't finish it.
Parks and Rec. Oh, I
Yeah.
agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you entirely. Yeah.
Finish The Office.
It was
and
like
everything.
unwatchable. It was almost unwatchable. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Right at the end, you know, they always do.
Yeah.
They couldn't stick the landing.
I think Parks and Recreation was good until it jumped the shark.
Right.
They had the episode, the whole episode that was like in the Black Lodge.
I don't think
is
so.
episode
I
this
know
week.
so. Get it!
Okay.
Right.
You guys hear this
I mean,
DM review is breaking my heart.
pardon?
You
The
want to
Dial
hear
of Destiny, you mean?
this little review that's breaking my heart? I mean, it's really dragging me down.
Heartbreaking, bro.
So I took my two
What?
brothers.
Was that an echo, or was that you speaking in the
No.
background on a recording? Someone went,
Uh,
it went, where's it back, bro?
all right.
Bro.
That's
No,
my
can you say Dial of Destiny, bro?
dial
Dial of dysentery.
of
bro.
disaster.
All right,
Mandela
well,
Man, are you telling me
you're saying you liked it.
that Crystal Skull is better?
You're saying you like.
It made Crystal Skull look like a damn masterpiece.
People might be into dysentery.
See what I say? That's what I'm saying. People are saying that Crystal Skull looks better. You know. That's
Have
not-
you guys seen the movie yet?
Yes, I saw it on Thursday.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
too.
was literally right at the front, like with my chin just sort of like stuck out, touching the screen nearly.
Question, James. Do you buy popcorn? Just a random question.
No, because it's like nearly £4 to get. I bought some when my nephew went, and he had like salted popcorn for some unknown reason, and it cost quite a lot. And I thought,
Yeah.
you know,
They
I'm
make
not
so
paying
much
that.
money off
I went in.
concession.
I always make a special thing of going up and saying, "Can I have some tap water, please?" And this time he says, "I can only give it you in a coffee cup." Probably there's people been going in asking for like pints of tap water and then taking it in the cinema and throwing it all on other people or something. But I usually have like a sandwich or something and take it in with me, and they say you can take whatever you want in, really.
All right, Mandela Man's review.
I plugged it in. Right?
It's
Here
all
it
right.
comes. It's coming.
Yeah, okay, so anyway, yes, it did make it look like a masterpiece. I still have my problems with Crystal Skull, of course. Only being, you know, those aliens should have been practical, and the monkey scene, you could have cut that down a little, and maybe they go over one waterfall instead of falling out of the sky and then like falling down 3 waterfalls. You know,
Mandela Man, how do you
Anyway, talk
how do you-
about the actual
whatever.
how do you feel about real quick? How do you feel about Kate Blanchett having Steven Spielberg's mom's hairdo?
That's very interesting that you point that out. I didn't get that, to be honest with you.
Not same color though.
Say that though, yeah. That's real interesting. Another subliminal.
I will say that like Kate Blanchett was kind of sexy in that film, and in this film there isn't any sexiness. I'll say that. It's not sexy.
I agree with you.
I thought you said Harrison Ford takes off his shirt at the start. How is
Yeah,
that?
you were drooling about that before. Yeah, thank you, Cameron.
No, I'm just saying like that
You specifically bought the ticket for
it
that.
showcases his age and everything.
Did you say Dial of Destiny?
I wasn't actually.
I was talking to
masturbating.
Cameron Mandela Man. Do you feel like this follows the new Disney way of treating how they treated Luke Skywalker, how they treat all their veteran legacy characters, where they turn them to this old, washed up, hates life, wants to die characters, giving up on everything. This type of, I don't know what you would call that.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I think
Like,
it's a James Mangold thing, to be honest.
I
Like,
call it the
yeah,
great.
he's with Logan. Yeah, I get it. He's known for all those type of dour movies, but like,
Well, my camera's
Still.
got a good kick, you know.
I call it the Gray Jedi way, you know, that type of thing. But I mean, yeah, that was part of it. That was some of that was there, but like, I didn't really have as big of a problem with that as, look, bro, the first 20 minutes or whatever it was until they got to the future.
yeah,
That right before that ended and the next part started.
yeah.
I have all the goodwill in the world. I'm a Chronicles lover. I'm kind of digging Crystal Skull even. I'm at this point the character's not room for me. As soon as they get to that, as soon as they get to,
Apartment.
Or two, like
as soon as they get to the 60s, bro, it all just like, look, man, you know the term shoe leather
No.
cinema, meaning that like in a scene where like a character
Hits in the ass with a shoe. Or...
No, it's like a term for like, okay, you got some exposition, you got some other exposition. Do you need to show the character walking to said next place, or can you just cut that? You know?
Yeah,
So
I see what you're saying. The editing was very bad in this movie. The way they did some of the shots, some of the in focus, out of focus, like foreground, background,
So
constantly switching.
honestly, Johnny, if we would have stayed in the war and deep faked the whole thing, and maybe it's only a 90 or so minute movie.
It'd be perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
That would have been great, right?
hmm
So I took my two brothers, and it tells me a lot that brother next to me, he kind of nodded off during that boat scene. That was slowed down the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't that boat go to a Bermuda Triangle or a Devil's Triangle or any other triangle? Anything
with
interesting.
substance in the world. Anything, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It was just a piece of water.
It was just not. It was just outside of Syracuse. You know, like
Mm.
okay.
Yeah.
And like the big thing is, dude, thematics. Okay, they didn't.
Dude, the Antikythera was like shown as just not like what was it? What is it? What does it do? How does it even go together? What are the schematics? What are the symbols on it? Anything. Give me. They showed the spear at the beginning in his journal for like 1 second and gave you that little taste of the notebook. And now you didn't even see anything. Even the other guy's notes, the father that went crazy. He was obsessed with it. You see him grab the notes when the Germans come in, and Indy takes them. We never see the notes again. Like, bro, like even
You know how
him referencing to it.
There was a few drop plot lines. The ending, you know how he just appears in his apartment? I almost thought like the entire thing was a dream. Because remember, he's been shot.
right.
How
Like
did
the
they get back?
Wizard.
So you know how long that would have took him to get back? He would have died on the way back.
Right.
Did any of that even happen? Was it all just in his head almost? I felt
And
like
how
that
much
first.
did you notice the spear?
Why would he have died?
Wait, we'll get to that.
Oh, James, you know how she punches him, right? And then think about the logistics, how long it took him to get there. And then now they got to go back, and he's bleeding out. He has been at his
Right.
age.
He wasn't noticeably bleeding out. He was just shot.
So hey, bro, here's
Yeah,
what we.
but-
This is a fantasy film, remember?
yeah,
What my brother's talking about, Johnny and Cam, is you know how Steven Spielberg in the first movie, he took time to show you the book and the illustrations and draw the things on the board. It was for visual reference for the audience. The story of Archimedes and whatever's going on with this dial is so much in the background of what and convoluted what the characters are saying. You have no real comprehension by the end of the movie of what is this thing, like what
At all.
I get. Okay, it finds fissures in time. How does it do that?
There's
For him to go continental drift towards the end, spoilers everybody, we're gonna get into it. Like for him to just say that out of the blue, you have to set that up earlier in the movie somehow for the audience.
It just came out of nowhere.
For a history buff, yeah, maybe you're gonna know it, or an indie fan, but a regular viewer, the average family, they're not gonna have a clue.
What is continental drift?
So here's what my brother noticed, and it's pretty sharp. Tell me
Falling asleep, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So the other brother, he fell asleep totally. I woke him up like 17 times during Act 3 and 4, and he couldn't stay awake. There's no way. And he's the biggest fan of Indiana Jones
of the three
of anybody I've ever seen.
I mean,
so that says everything to me. But what my brother noticed is, did you guys notice when they were on the train and they were talking about the spear, that Voller did the old switcheroo, and it was very understated, where he stuck the spear in his briefcase and switched it out with a fake, and then he told his superiors, it's a fake. So when he gets, and then like towards the end of the train scene, he gets smacked like so hard that it would kill anybody.
He should have been decapitated. Yeah.
right.
But if he has the real spear on him,
Can you stop thinking about this as if it's realistic?
no, I'm
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he opens a treasure chest later to get the Antikythera
So
out.
yeah,
It's the spear.
hold on.
As a side knife.
Later on, when the Nazis are opening the box after the boat scene, one of the Nazis, the younger one, played by Holbrook, he actually pulls out the spear and opens the box with the spear. And then when Indiana Jones wakes up at the end, the spear is on his desk. So my guess is that Mangold probably had another like the thing that we didn't see is the spear healing Indy and her taking him back. And maybe there's the one where he dies, and maybe there's another, because we heard there's 7 endings, right? Maybe there's another one where he stays with Archimedes or whatever. And
I believe there'll definitely be a 3-hour version of the film released.
for sure. If
think
it contains any stuff that you're mentioning,
But it doesn't.
edited the movie.
Look, even if you had that spear scene, it would help.
Mhm.
You know, he got healed by that, but it would
Well, it
not.
would bring more of a religious dimension if that's what you want.
No, it's not about religion.
The first thing we see in this film is the
about the
Indiana
man.
Jones. He's got the picture of Christ, hasn't he? The painting.
Tricky.
Oh my God, dude! Like that was, yeah, okay. Like we're lucky they put that even in there. Is what you're saying? Like, thank God. But
Well, no, I don't. I think you're, in a way, you're looking for basically that the film was a little bit more dealing with things which kind of bear themselves out in reality, rather than having like 15-minute chases around some city in those.
That's a great
boogie things or whatever. I mean,
that's a great point, James. But here's the thing, okay? The original Indiana Jones and most of his adventures, especially the Chronicles and the first 3 movies, those are based on supposedly real historical things. So in this film, I would have been way more comfortable if that was not Voller.
Well, yeah, but come on. I mean, the first one is obviously it's based on a historical item, but it's not proven that anybody has opened up the Ark and there's been like lasers going through people's heads and making their heads blow up. Or something.
Right. There's a suspension of disbelief there, but like Disney is a company who was involved with Werner von Braun. Why wasn't Voller Werner von Braun? And why in this movie you don't even have Odessa, the organization? You have 3 Nazi guys that are trying to resurrect the whole of the. It just is so goofy to me that it's these 3 guys chasing like these three people chasing 3 people. That's the wildest adventure.
Project Paperclip, dude. Like
they don't even mention that.
You don't even give you that. If you don't know that what he is, you don't know what like how the United States brought him. If you don't know that story,
all that stuff
you don't know that. That shit goes over the audience's head, right? So like even knowing all the lore, even if I knew the story behind the Antikythera and all that, which like pretty well versed in knowledge.
Yeah, we know it.
I still could barely enjoy like the movie for what they're going to look for because they're just.
But come on, I mean, in real life, there's not a dial of destiny, surely.
Oh, but there is the real Antikythera mechanism.
Someone can turn and then they immediately see a hole that they fly through in the air, like.
I don't know. Maybe just
they name the device after.
I think maybe what you would have preferred is a film that was a bit more over the top.
No. Hold on. Come on. A bit more, not even historically accurate. It's historical fiction. So make it historical fiction. Don't fictionalize.
Or a bit more reverent and kind of, like we're having
maybe
that kind of religious moment, But this film was more down to earth than that. I think it was kind of almost somewhat overall quite downbeat, but I actually liked it more from the first. I like the second half better than the first myself.
Oh my God, James, how?
Well, obviously we all have different tastes. It's not hard, is it?
I just don't get it because I'm talking about diehard fans. My brother,
you might not get it, but
falling asleep during the film, which is unheard of.
Child, type shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're injecting,
we had whips and everything. Don't bring that up. But anyway,
that's a joke.
Look, bro. And then, okay.
I mean, I did inject something before the film.
Here's another thing.
HGH.
On that boat
They're in
scene,
your balls, right?
on that boat
Human
scene,
growth hormone.
after that boat scene, I just kept telling myself, Mutt is a secret, he's a secret services agent, and the military had to fake his death and tell his father that he's dead. I just keep telling myself that because I can't deal with how the family values went to shit in this one.
So they made time to.
What do you mean the family values?
Right.
Bro, you could have did
this is not family values. This is him wanting to be a soldier and getting killed. That's it.
That's the problem.
Why that could have happened plausibly.
It would have been a tie back to.
I mean, he was swinging with bloody monkeys. There's no knowing what he's going to do. It's like, I've been swinging with monkeys. I can go and shoot people.
So that's the point A to point B right there. Yeah.
Look, man, why? Okay, another thing.
Okay, they killed off Mutt. That's it. Okay, you have to accept it.
No,
He's not a double
Hey,
agent
wait,
working
hey,
for Project Odessa or something.
James, they switched out his body. He's on a secret mission. One day, they're gonna find each other again.
So you're saying they've changed? He's now transgender.
What?
He's now transgender. Or
No.
you said he switched his body. Like,
Jaya, if you see Padre Pio, you'll see the Indiana Jones in him, and you'll know what I'm talking.
like, I thought you meant like Hunter Schafer in Euphoria, where he has the fake boobs, and then I was like very attracted and saying, but that's a girl. No, it's a man.
It's
a girl.
Neither here or there, bro. We're talking Indiana. We're talking masculine principles right now. You know what I'm saying? Really, bro.
Well, you know,
you can only deconstruct and postmodern stuff so far without.
You're just angry that Phoebe Waller-Bridge hit Harrison Ford.
What?
She really hit him in the making of this.
That could have killed him too, poor old man, you know. And then she took his body, his limp body. Okay, just imagine this.
I doubt it, Johnny.
He's knocked out, his limp body. They dragged his body to whatever plane,
His
and then
limp
dragged
what?
him through the city. It was like 3 days later he got back home. Like,
No,
oh
you're
my
right,
God.
bro. You're absolutely.
His limp penis.
Well, she was looking at dudes the whole time, like, yeah, like
Harrison Ford. He still has got what it takes, and she
that
kept looking.
was surprised.
At one point, she says that hat makes you look at least 2 years younger. After that, there's a deleted scene where they have like tantric sex. Him and his own goddaughter.
You know that.
And Shia LaBeouf comes back and he's looking through the window.
On that note, have a good day, everybody. we'll talk.
All right, thank you
Take
for
it
coming
easy,
on,
Cameron.
Cameron.
Thank you for inviting me on. All right, appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.
Take care there, and all the best. So,
You know what else, bro?
you made Cameron go there.
I guess.
I'm angry.
You know that lady that plays Mary Poppins in the second Mary Poppins film? She's going to be
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. This companion was supposed to be her originally. It should have been her. She's much more charismatic. This
That would've
lady,
been better. Yeah.
James, I was trying.
I don't think
so
so at
hard.
all. I think she was actually quite good in it, but I think that she's a caricature of a posh person because she literally is
trying-
posh.
But
The
it's
actress
very
is posh.
off-putting to this, to, like audiences on this side of the world. Like it's very off-putting, James. I know you find it
Why?
charming. It
No, I don't
comes
find it
off as
charming.
it comes off as so egotistical and arrogant and so like she's better than you and high and mighty.
No, I
That's
think that's
weird,
you.
you know?
That's you. That's all you.
Look, bro. Hold on, sir. I try.
I mean that with all respect, but like I'm just telling you the difference. How we
I'm
do it.
English as well, so you think I'm all high and mighty then?
No.
No. I respect you. Her, she didn't really earn my respect. She came off as arrogant and.
Willie Scott.
That's the character. The character's supposed to be arrogant.
No, I hear you. No, I hear you, James.
She's supposed to be smug and all that kind of stuff. She's like a con artist, isn't she?
Yeah, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because she could have got him killed so many times. But you know,
You're right. You just, I don't know. Just poor choice of character.
Bro,
I don't know. Maybe it's just supposed to be not taken as seriously as you're taking it. That's all.
yeah,
James.
maybe I saw it. Yeah, I hear you.
Hold on, man. Look, bro. If they're trying to build a relationship with them two, why would they start the adventure off by her like locking him behind a gate and leaving him for the Nazis? That was so off-putting. I was trying to love this woman, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. I was trying so hard, bro. Like Willie
When
Scott.
his friend died, she laughed.
think
And
that
he
they'll
had to,
kill him or something.
remember when his friend Antonio Banderas dies, and she's laughing, and he had to scorn her. My best friend just died. You know,
Right.
Real though.
Yeah.
And he says it too. I think he's like,
Really
dude,
weird,
my friend just died on the
Yeah,
boat.
yeah.
Like he says it flat like that, even, you know.
Where people can behave like in a strange way in stressful situations, can't they? I mean,
No,
just
you're right.
the amount.
What a complex character they got going there. Jeez, that I got to make up all these like ailments and weird things
Right.
to love her, dude. Holy shit!
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's just getting out of hand, bro.
Like
You know?
I really have to do a
I have to
180
try
in my
so hard
mind
to love her,
to like
Man,
her.
Can I
Yeah.
just like the movie and have someone?
But I don't think like to like the film, you have to particularly like any one of the characters anyway. I mean, is Indiana Jones himself even that like empathetic in this film?
Yes.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
you know, like an older version of himself dealing with a woman like that. And I guess he like dealt with the best he had at the moment. That's what I felt.
Well, maybe the film is
Ford
a
was fine.
success in that way. Like, I don't think they overplayed the I'm old card.
No.
Like when he's climbing up that bit
Yeah,
in the
it
cave
was-
and all that, and he just doesn't move anymore. And she says, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
and he's
when
like, "All of me here." I thought that was decent enough, And
it was a little. I like that moment too. That was, it wasn't like too much either. I think that was,
see, it's all really quite exaggerated. Like someone who's 78 in his position
right.
wouldn't be able to go flying across all these different situations in such quick succession without getting some pretty serious injuries. I mean, it's very far fetched.
Right.
Mm.
It's extremely perfect.
I mean, come on. Some people are going to see Indiana Jones on the horse going through the subway, and they're like, "This is insane,"
So the subway was one of the few scenes that I enjoyed, to be honest with you. Look, what
It was
happened?
better than in the trailer, anyway. So
Okay,
Mhm.
well, what happened to these leaks I heard about? That I heard that the original script was going to start with them going through the time portal. They took the whole movie to go through that portal.
The
That
movie
should've-
really is 3 different movies.
That should have been
in
the
one.
start of Act 2, bro.
Yeah.
You're going through, and then what happens through time? What happened to young Indiana Jones meeting old one? We heard about that. That
Mhm.
didn't happen. Did that get written out? Maybe. Okay. What happened to why didn't the Antikythera lead to the bell, which is like one of the most famous like Nazi things? You know what I mean? Like
iconic pieces.
really, bro.
Treasure.
I think there could have been 2 different films made out of it, like almost one where it's all locks. Like basically, this film was just very daft and kind of
it was a 5.
farcical in many ways. And then there could have been a film where they made everything very serious.
Yeah.
Like delved into these backstories to do with De Glock or Spear of Destiny or how this thing fits together, like your brother's saying. I do agree with that.
Look,
for people who are taking the Indiana Jones seriously, there's not enough there really. But it's deliberately silly, like just the idea of them flying through the clouds.
Right.
Like some people are going to look at that and go,
I like that.
It's almost like an anti-climax in terms of, but it's like a way of downplaying it in a way. Like,
yeah, that's where people think they jumped the shark is how they do.
But I kind of enjoyed that. I didn't feel like they jumped the shark. I thought it was quite subtle.
You know what though? Even when they get to that portal, it takes them almost. That's when I was trying to wake my other brother up. It took them 20 minutes to get through that hole in the sky. That's what I mean about shoe leather stuff.
It felt like 20 minutes, but it's because partly one of the problems with this film was the overuse of CGI. I will say, in terms of.
Hey, look, I checked my watch. Another problem with this film, we went to a 10 o'clock showing. Okay, it's a 2.5 hour film. Now because
10 a.m. You mean
10 p.m.
Okay, oh, really?
So because of the way they show trailers before, we didn't get out of the theater till 1 o'clock, 1:05 in the morning. So for a 2.5 hour film, we're actually there for 3 hours to see it end. Mm-hmm. It just kept going and going.
Trailers for Amateurville in space and Believer.
Well, here's what really screwed it up. Tom Cruise dropped his Mission Impossible train scene before the movie. We saw that whole scene being filmed, and he made this look like a joke with the train. I mean,
some of that. I will say the visuals for the way it's filmed, the photography on the Mission Impossible looked superior to this.
Yeah,
it was
amazing. Yeah.
But it was just a completely different style, far more stylish and sort of
never seen
modern. But that the train going off the edge of a cliff and stuff. They filmed that in Derbyshire, where I am.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
I don't know if that's all in the first part or whether it's in the next film. But anyway.
This train scene.
That's awesome.
This 20-minute train scene at the beginning.
It wasn't CGI. That's the important thing.
That's the amazing thing. Yeah, practical. Yeah, real, tangible. Yeah.
It was the best part.
Obviously, it's always some CGI in some films, but
that's the third time that we've seen Indiana Jones do a train scene. Oh, if you watch the whole series, River Phoenix does it, and then in the Chronicles, there's the best train episode ever, where the Nazis have a secret train that goes into a secret tunnel. It's a really good episode out of that series. This didn't top that for me. And that's kind of, saying a lot.
I thought the first part, like the whole prologue,
that was great.
That was.
It's not bad, but I didn't like it in the way you like it as much because I didn't think that he looked convincing enough. Maybe in the eyes or something. I don't know. But it was just,
there's something about the eyes that's off. Yeah, I agree with you with that.
just when people are running across trains in the night,
there was
there was
three.
Know.
There was 3 scenes where his eyes
just didn't look real.
Yeah.
It had this effect.
Apart from at
very,
the end,
very
when
video
it
game
gets,
cinematic. Yeah.
At the end, it becomes like lighter, and then there's the end bit where the train goes off the bit, and that was okay. I found that fine. That looks realistic enough, but
look,
because they were really in the water at the end, obviously, but it wasn't CGI water. But I just think like if you're going to have people running across a train in CGI mode and all that, it's just too much for me. It's too unrealistic, you know. And they even had the trailer saying, "Oh, you know, everything was done as real as possible, mostly."
Oh no!
But, oh yeah, how much? Like 30%. I mean,
and there's a scene missing in the trailer. They show one of those. It looked like an homage to the first one with the rolling the giant ball.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually,
that wasn't in the film. They cut that out.
That shows you how there is definitely
another
25 minutes or more of like extra that they'll add in again to get people to buy it again, all on
ball. Yeah, no ball
or whatever.
How about that, Johnny? No ball. Something you advertise.
That whole sequence was like quite short.
Yeah,
and then it's just like the water drops down, they go underneath, and then they're covered in all bugs and things. You're just thinking, well, this is just a replay of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but
they're literally certain homage,
shorter and without any real tension. You didn't feel like immense tension at all in this film. That I will say, mostly.
Right.
It feels like more like comical.
They needed kind of a ticking clock or something. You know, they needed some type of time down. They needed to hurry up and finish.
They were tailoring it too much to a modern market, like so that people who've never seen Indiana Jones can just watch it. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was terrible by any means. I mean, I quite enjoyed it, but the thing is, I'm fairly sort of an easy kind of viewer of this kind of thing.
We saw Asteroid City this week too, and that's the far superior film out of these two.
But surely they must be very different.
Oh, very well. Well, they tackle some of the similar themes that from the series though too. Actually, when you add it all up, all of Indy's adventures. It's similar to Oppenheimer's going to tackle the same similar themes, but in a different way. Like you're saying, it's a different way. But look, here's a freebie for Disney. Okay, you cannot at this point have Helena as a show. That's never going to work. The only way to save this at this point is to bring Indy back one more time. You have to have him limit. Like if you're going to make a series. He's in 1 or 2 episodes, maybe 3. And Short Round comes back from Asia.
That would be a good idea, actually.
And tells Indy, no, your son didn't die. The government's lying to you. And Marion is like, look, you have to bring him back.
He's transgender.
You have to bring him back. He's a hardened vet.
So we can get
Oh, sorry. He's a hardened vet.
Trump.
Rambo.
And it's a political thriller. You don't have Indiana Jones punching Nazis and this shit. You have him being
become Rambo.
And they should film it in Twin Peaks, which is basically where Rambo First Blood is filmed.
Literally, yeah.
Shia LaBeouf, just
hey man, look, I'm glad you
going crazy.
I'm glad you brought up. Didn't you bring up Rocky earlier? Right? If you think about Rocky Balboa. That stuck to its thematics. It stuck to the father-son thing when it had to come back after the 5th film. That worked for that. Even
it's a good film. Apart from, although I would say that the final fight is a bit like okay.
Worked with it,
It was more believable that he's training a fighter. Right. He's not getting back in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm talking about Rocky Balboa. You're talking about Creed.
Okay. No, well. Hey, I'm not a huge fan of Creed. I don't know, bro. Like that's the only way that Disney's gonna ever make any more money out of this character.
Well, I do actually think that this is quite true about what Dan Peake says. This is true.
Wow. Oh my God!
I had someone who charitably said Mutt was killed by Short Round in Vietnam, in a cruel twist of fate. Not sure I accept this theory.
Oh my god,
Why was
that's so
Short
dark.
Round in Vietnam when he was clearly not living there, was he? I mean, where did he was living in? Like,
Come on, who says that?
Short Round was not Vietnamese, was he?
Look, man, we can't let this character go out like this. A punch, and then he wakes up like the Wizard of Oz. And then at the
Yeah,
very
I
end,
thought everything was a dream. I literally
Chinese, I think.
they show the hat at the end and go, boop. Oh, it's over. Like, that was so weird, bro. That last
Yeah,
shot.
but that's like a bit like
That was
they're saying that
safe. The hat's safe.
no one else is going to grab the
Yeah,
hat, basically.
Yeah, that's fine. It's better than he's dead or he's gone forever or he never existed.
Right.
Like, that would have been insane, you know. But still, man, it's.
I'm just glad they didn't stay in like ancient Greece or whatever. I mean, why would he want to stay in the first place?
Or in Italy, or ancient Rome. Or
But yeah,
something?
he was just injured and everything.
He could.
It wasn't Greece. Sorry, I don't know.
He could change.
They make a little error because when they first see the hieroglyphs, it actually show. Remember, the guy has a watch, and they show some pictures that he actually could have stayed behind and not been knocked out, and it wouldn't have done anything to the future continuum.
It was already
It's so weird that they had showed it
Wow.
ahead of time as
Johnny.
if it was part of the continuum, but you know,
Johnny,
going
what
to
if
the
that?
time
What
travel.
if his shot got infected and he had to teach them antibiotics or something? Like, you don't know that history wouldn't change. He knows a lot of things. You know, he's a lot of things he could have taught our communities. But whatever.
No, but he's always respected history, right? And wanting to preserve history. I don't think he would have changed anything. Plus, they already foreshadowed it with the hieroglyphs already having stuff that would come that he would have told them about.
making us talk. That's the
Did
beauty of
you
the idea, too,
wait?
you know?
Did you notice that the way this movie plays out, that now Archimedes technically has 2 anti-Catherian mechanisms?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Got that, huh?
Right.
Okay,
That's
so
just showing off.
that's the
Yeah, that's just showboating now. He made one and all of a sudden 2 appeared because it would have
I
been
mean,
instantaneous,
Archimedes
right?
comes into the film and basically takes over the whole film.
Yeah.
that's
Again, I thought I'm like, this can't be happening. As that whole scene, I'm like, we have
I
Romans
can imagine
shooting
you
down.
walked out of the cinema.
No, I'm like, we have Romans shooting down planes. They're just low enough to be hit by
that
arrows.
was cool. That was cool, bro.
It
I
was
like
cool, but just the I know I get
Big
into touch of
fire.
yeah.
You like the aliens though in Crystal Skull.
Yeah. I don't like the
A little
CGI, but I
little
like
bit.
the concept and everything. If those would have been practical, I would have been 100% behind it, too. Yeah, I was in
Well,
back then.
it's quite late here tonight because I started late and everything, so we'll have to continue this conversation on a further video. And thank you everyone for being on tonight, though, from Cameron to Johnny to Mandela Man and his brother.
Thank you, James, for having me on. I appreciate
I'm
it.
more
Thank
than
you.
willing to continue this whole discussion along, further weeks and things because
The only thing
plenty more to discuss. So
the only thing that saves the movie for me was noticing this spear thing.
Yeah,
that the
right.
spear wasn't a fake, like thank God.
That was like
But it was
underlying
so
theme.
low key, bro, in the background that nobody would even know that.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. I didn't even catch that. 'Cause I'm thinking, how did he get healed at the end? But sorry, James. Thanks again for having me.
well, Dan Peaks really
Yeah, they didn't want
put a
humanity healing.
He said Mission Impossible 7 will also feature a fight scene filmed in the Derby Co-op where Ethan Hunt fights drugged up locals. This is actually a preview of that here, Drugs in Britain.
Wow.
Oh,
So I'm looking forward to that.
that's
me. That's me before I got off the Black Mamba.
The Black Mamba. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's funny because the thing with Tom Cruise is he took this photo in front of an Indian restaurant in Birmingham and they made the news story. Basically, he asked for 2 plates of tandoori chicken.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, there's the photo and it's just him standing in front of the restaurant with 3
Everybody's
guys.
been in the UK for a while. They're filming the Ghostbusters there. You're saying Tom Cruise is there. Everyone's there right now.
Ghostbusters, why?
Wait a minute.
Bill Murray's there right now. It must be just some shots they must need in the film. But right now, Bill Murray's there and a few
But
other
it must be set in this country as opposed to because I thought it was all going to be set in New York, the new one.
You would think. I know. I think maybe they're switching up, or maybe they're filming.
be
What they're
honest-
going to say.
Or a lot of the scenes where he's in the city at the start of this new Indiana Jones were actually filmed in Glasgow, and they did CGI in a lot of the buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny, let me say one more thing about this, right? In that when they were when she was trying to auction off the things, and that he pulled out his whip and they pulled out. Okay, if this was a Spielberg film, when he hit the deck, there would have been some Rube Goldberg variation
that killed all the people, right?
Or distracted them because they all shot one shot.
Yeah.
And what? They're too dumb to aim down. That's the Disney-ifying of the thing. It didn't work for me.
You're right. The Spielberg-ish way.
I think it's partly to do with Mangold as well, where he frames everything really close.
Really close.
Like this really didn't have the same kind of long shots and sort of
cinematic
even mid shots. Where it was cinematic to some degree, but it felt very much more like you just right up in, with the character, which for me was good, but it was definitely contrasting to Spielberg's style, which I don't think that Spielberg was always succeeded after,
He just made a great movie though.
No, what I'm saying in the 2000s, etc. Like,
I agree with that era.
Like he's done a lot of different things. I mean, I don't think anyone would claim that War of the Worlds is as good as Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
No, absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
They're both kind of good, but I think that he tried different styles.
I agree with that, James. Yeah.
And like even the style of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it's not as epic as say, Raiders of the Lost Ark, is it?
No.
Because really, I mean, it's got a lot of throwaway scenes, like even the beginning scene, like racing across the desert with feels like, why is this happening?
And just the overall look. Did he shoot on film, James?
Anyway,
you're right. Sorry, I can get into another discussion.
I don't know about that.
Look,
this looked fine for me. However, it was filmed, but
Asteroid City's third act was kind of thin, but it's a 10 times better movie
experience. Period.
I watched the Kennedy I'm gonna run now officially speech yesterday. That was a better movie than the Indiana Jones.
That really brought me out.
To be honest with you, he's referencing all these things from the past, like Curtis LeMay and Lemnitzer and all. I mean, all this history you're getting. It's very interesting. And Indiana Jones is supposed to be about history, right? That's just where it fell flat for me. Like,
what's that last thing you just mentioned?
Kennedy gave a speech, where he's like, "Now I'm officially running."
Like we got to hear him talk for more than 4 minutes consecutively, and it was
was a better film as a speech than the movie. That I watched last night. Okay, so I watched both things, and my God, more history satisfying this.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about now. Sorry.
Okay. You'll find out.
What movie are you talking about?
It's not a movie. It will be one day. Yeah, it'll be a movie one day.
The new Kennedy that's speaking.
The new Kennedy, man.
That's what's going on over here.
Okay, well, anyway, I mean,
whipping ass, bro. All over.
Thanks everyone, and we'll have to come back pretty soon and fill in any holes. But in terms of your hat, where did you get that from, Mandela Man?
I believe I got it from the actual park, MGM, when it was MGM in Disney.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's by the Stunt Spectacular.
You stole it from a film set.
It
was very expensive.
That's Indiana Jones's actual hat.
You go in, and all the hats, they don't look right, and this was the one that was closest to his.
Nice. Well, I'd like to be honest, especially.
I wouldn't mind getting one too.
If I could, just walk down the street, kind of wearing that and nothing else.
Stand out. Nothing else.
You bring back the 100-year-old.
You come back home, no one's even noticed you were wearing nothing else. Oh, nice hat. That's it.
Yeah, but that hat is really nice.
The full Monty.
The full Monty, yeah. The British Monty.
No, but yesterday there was a carnival here, and I saw these men, and they had going along in the carnival, and they had wheelbarrows. And then they kind of wheeling them along, and then they stopped, and then the full Monty music came on. That kind of
wow.
And they were dancing with the wheelbarrow and then pumping their waists.
Really? This just popped off on your street?
I was shouting, "There's children watching here."
I'm sure you heard that FX is making a show out of the.
That was
full mod.
funny. That was really
Right.
No, they've already made it. It's on Disney.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing that I'm more interested in, that it's apparently some people don't like it, but some people do. Amazing insight there from me. But the thing I'm most interested in is the thing that was heralded as called Retreat, but it's actually called A Murder at the End of the World. It's the Britt Marling new thing. So
Yeah, that does sound interesting.
I think that'll be on FX, but we get it on Disney here. So
I'm
that's
pretty
in August. So
Okay.
pretty much at a
it may be related somehow to the OA, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
Maybe not blatantly, but I think in some subtle way.
Like a spiritual successor type of way, or
Well,
however you say it.
probably Netflix is like they own the sort of that as a property. But then again, I mean, Britt Marling and that guy who directs with her on the OA, it's the same people making it, so they can do whatever they want, can't they? Really?
Yeah.
And it's got Joan Chen in it. I don't know how big she'll be in a role like Josie, so I'm just hoping that she'll appear in a doorknob at some point.
Well, they free her from it. Yeah.
I mean, I've not seen Joan Chen in a lot of films. I saw her in one thing called Ava, I think it was called, a thriller, but Jessica Chastain. But
Wasn't she in Judge Dredd or something like that? One of those movies?
probably, but that's a long while back. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one with Stallone?
Yeah, the one with Stallone or Demolition
Well,
Man. One of those. I can't remember.
When
one of those.
Twin Peaks was successful, she was like she made some really great movie choices, as in On Deadly Ground with Steven Seagal. I mean, and no doubt she got paid suitably, but Jesus Christ. Once you're in a Seagal film, you're like marked for life, aren't you?
Yeah.
What was your last film? On Deadly Ground.
You
All
gotta
right.
whisper it, yeah. You gotta like cough it into the room.
I want to say too,
To Marcus Seagal.
poor Jonathan.
The Marcus Seagal. That's a good one.
Poor
Yeah,
Jonathan.
but I don't know, even in the 90s, people must have been aware of how ridiculous he was.
How schlocky he is. His run, his action, everything.
Hey,
about
the
him.
sheriff of that town and shit, and they were like following him with a camera around the fucking, like really like thinking he was the shit.
Henry Rollins gave this story where he went to audition for a role in a Seagal film, and Seagal was like, "So, what kind of weapons have you got, and what when he experienced in firing them?" And Henry Rollins was like, "Well, my best friend was killed by a gun and everything, so I don't
Oh.
and things like that, and I don't have any guns in the house." And Seagal was like,
Right.
"Oh man,
My hand.
Oh my god.
you gotta know how to hold a weapon."
My goodness.
And I use the person's body against himself.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
Do you think that you know how like Jonathan Rhys Davies was like, "I have the hunger to get out on the road again," and all this?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I wish he would have,
Okay, you do.
Hit by
You
a
do.
car, though.
Yeah.
You do kind of wish that.
Wish you went with it.
But the problem is if he did, he would have overshadowed her, the goddaughter, if he would have came
along.
on board,
he was
they gotta
hobbling.
get him to the airport though.
Yeah.
That little scene inside his house, that was one of the better parts of the films, but it only lasted a few minutes, like 2 minutes.
I know. The editing, I have a problem, yeah.
Very quick.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so many. I could go on and on and on.
There is probably a better cut out there, slightly longer, or maybe just slightly to the point where they haven't left
Yeah,
anything
there's
out.
gotta be.
No.
Like they obviously edited
I
a
don't
lot of
think
shit
even
out of
that.
there.
Johnny or Ben, can I ask you, have I taken every chance to talk shit about Queen of Hearts to you?
No, I haven't. No, I don't know where that came from.
I've always been very supportive to the whole thing,
yeah.
even though
The only thing I remember you saying is something about a record player or something. Not really. No.
Oh, I criticised the record player.
Yeah.
That's
about it, you know.
No, I mean, I think the thing is, I made a decision to be as supportive of Cameron as possible, and
Me too. Yeah.
I didn't want to just sort of like start laying kind of criticisms of his film
I liked it.
out there, for everybody.
Mhm.
Because he made it, and it lasted 4 hours. I mean, that's
Mhm.
not necessarily something that I would aim to do.
Once again, that film was a better film for Twin Peaks than this Indiana Jones was.
Yeah,
Sorry, and
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
if
had some
anybody thinks-
strong moments, especially the bit where I did the voiceover saying about sweet butter chicken.
Yeah.
And also the bit where Cooper goes to find Wyndham Earle and he's gone missing. That's good.
Mhm.
But a lot of it was good. I like Caroline for sure. So, I think if you're angry towards Cameron or whatever.
I'm not. No.
No, I'm talking about Davrin. I
Yeah.
just think, don't take it somewhere else. Don't bring it here. Because I don't really understand what it's all about. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like I said, Davin, you have good movie suggestions. If you keep to that and don't do overwhelm the chat, you should be
do think
okay.
It's like as if we're best friends. Like, I mean, you were best friends with Cameron in real life, and then he's done something that's really annoyed you, and you're going online to kind of have a massive, rant about it. It's not that level of drama, is it? You don't have to bring that level of drama to something online. So it showcases that you're putting way too much of your emotions into just online nonsense. Like I always used to think that the online world wasn't real at all, which arguably it isn't. But
no, it's a facade of the real world.
Yeah.
Bro.
I mean, it can have consequences if you start writing to people saying, I'm outside your house now, as I have many times. But
look behind you.
But I do think someone like Davin, he is like a genuine kind of online stalker type person, to be honest.
I'll be honest with you, though. I do think our show is a little bit staunch about just reviewing movies. Don't go off script. I
don't think that's true, because today I've spoken we've all spoken openly, and as I said, I am really open to these things. But the thing is,
the platform.
If you're not going to be available a lot during the week, then there's only so much of a platform you can have anyway.
Oh well, if you need me on a video, instead of just sending me a link,
just call you.
Call me, get my attention and shit. Yeah.
All right. Sometimes I just feel like I want to give people their own distance and things, and but I will. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind the random. Hey, do you want to join in? I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I did it today, and
I wouldn't mind.
I sorry about bringing up your mic or whatever, but
oh, no problem. If it was a technical issue, hopefully I fixed it.
It sounds okay now. So
okay, perfect, excellent.
I wouldn't mind if we had more females on too.
It's just a question of timing and when you can get them to come on, though. So
I'm sure.
Right.
But anyone's free to find them.
Right.
It's not. I mean, I can sometimes, but the thing is, it's quite difficult to entice people when you don't have a. It's not like Twin Peaks is on at TV or something now, is it? So, but anyway.
So I messaged Sabrina the other day. She's pretty cool how she gets back to you and is cool with talking with you and stuff like that.
Why? What did you say?
No, she just said I appreciate. I gave him. I suggested an actor for something, and she's like, I appreciate the tip.
She's a really nice person.
Yeah, if we need you for anything, we'll let you know.
I think it's pretty unique. You're not going to get that with many films or TV shows that somebody comes online and interacts with people.
Very personable. Yeah, that's cool as hell. I told her I appreciate, all the work and the joy that her and David brought into our lives and things like that, or my life. But yeah, very not.
Phantom Cooper says, "I hear Sabrina is really into rim jobs. What is that?"
Oh my god!
I think you know what it is. It's
Phantom Cooper. That's. I thought you were like a 17-year-old girl. What are you talking about rim jobs for? That's not normal.
Hey, it's a brave new world, James. These are the morals that that are manifesting here.
Oh, Millie's here. When I met Sabrina in Australia, she was very easy to be around.
Hey, Millie.
So what you mean by that, Millie, is she was like, she wasn't like saying, get away from me, I'm famous or something like that. It's like, I often say that to people, but it's difficult for me just walking around Derby sometimes because I'm always getting mobbed by fans.
There he is. Get him.
Oh, when I met Lynch and I asked him to sign 2 diaries, and I told him
Nice spot.
I told him, my girlfriend, we both have the same birthday, and it's today, and he actually didn't believe me. He kind of gave me a sideways look and said, "Oh, come on, man!" He. So little distrust there. The one time I got to meet him,
But sometimes players, yeah. Is that what you said, or
Give me the side think guy.
I expected to be harsh, super professional. I felt like I knew her. What?
But the next one is even funny.
Maybe you did know her. Maybe you knew her and you actually didn't realize it. And she used to live in Australia under different, guys, sort of wearing a wig or something. Walking around.
I know the next one is a Twin Peaks reference.
Oh, what, mate? Gotta put another shrimp on the Barbie.
That's the Mandela effect.
That's actually a Cockney living in Australia. So
That put another shrimp on, throw another shrimp on the Barbie. That's a Mandela effect. It changed
because they don't actually eat shrimp in real life.
Oh,
Everyone knows this.
Paul Hogan says something.
That's not true. Actually, I've been researching this, and they do have shrimp.
Yeah, do they? Oh my god,
shrimp.
you just blew my mind.
Some people refer to prawns as shrimp. Or also, say lobster. Some people even describe a lobster as
a big prawn,
a large member.
Look, when Paul Hogan made that commercial,
you say that with a straight face.
When Paul Hogan made that commercial, he would say, "We'll throw another shrimp on the Barbie for you." Now he says, "We will place another shrimp on the Barbie for you," something like that. It's very prominent.
Well, Millie says, aka plastic entrapment. Again, we don't call them shrimp. That's the sequel to the film with Catherine Zeta-Jones and.
Well, I think you should, Millie, because it sounds better. No.
Well, sorry about that. I've got that wrong. We call them prawns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's too much information. I don't want to know what you call penises.
Whoa. Yeah.
And it's a known fact that Australian penises are larger than those in England because we're often colder. So I get very, with mine, I was trying to impress a woman once, and it was very cold. And
why? Why would you do
my penis had gone back inside my body. And
even more of a reason why. Why would you take a picture?
She said, "What are you trying to show me? You look like you're a female." And I said, "No, it's just gone inside, but it will come out again.
It will come out eventually. Give it another week."
Can you just put have you got a hairdryer? Put that on it.
You dry it off? Give a moisture.
Then that basically burnt all of my pubes off. And I was like, "Oh, can you please do it more? I like that." I mean, we've all got our own kinks.
I'm sure we do, James. God.
That we do.
I mean, Australian men are very hot, says Phantom Cooper. How do you know? Which ones? Do you mean like Hugh Jackman or is Jason Momoa Australian?
Oh.
I don't know.
I thought he was Hawaiian.
They're actors. Most actors are supposed to be hot, aren't they? Unless you're Toby Jones or something. I prefer the less hot actors. Like Burt Young.
Less threatening.
No, but I can't imagine at any point that Burt Young is quite threatening. At any point anyone went, "You're looking hot today, Burt."
Oh my god.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I keep talking about this stuff now. It's probably
they're like snowflakes. No two are the same. Okay, thanks, Millie.
Davrin, I didn't devise today's show so I can give Cameron a platform to trash.
James, you literally called me up and said, "I'm literally devising today's show so we can give Cameron a platform." And I'm like, James, okay, let's do it.
If anything, having Cameron on was designed to appeal to you, Davrin. So perhaps don't take it quite so personally like that. It's not like that. None of us really know you, and I don't intend to be punishing towards anyone. That's the last thing.
Gary Dorso, I just saw Gary.
If anything, I want to be, kind of raising a laugh so people don't feel bad about things or whatever.
Hugh Jackman does sound like a porn name.
I don't understand though. Is just because someone can sing and dance in films that immediately makes them gay? It's
Hugh
like
Jack the man.
Nah,
Hugh Jack the man.
I don't know about that. but-
Or a
it
huge.
just mean it
Jackman.
could just mean that he's very secure in his own, masculinity and everything. So
Yeah, definitely. You have to be. Yeah.
he doesn't strike me as being gay, especially if you watch a film like Prisoners.
Well, I think he has a
But-
family. No.
Well, he definitely doesn't come off as being particularly fey or anything like that. But the thing is, there's no knowing. People can be gay without knowing. So
Who really cares? Really. At the
well, they
end
don't
of
go
the day-
around going, "Oh." I mean, most gay men do that.
How many
Do
gay
they?
men do you know, and how many do
Oh,
they
yeah.
do that?
Oh Lord.
As soon as they come into a room, they go, "Oh, what's going off in here? Oh,
I think that's how you entered the room. Actually,
put another shrimp on the barbie for me. Oh,
please start the show next time like that.
I wouldn't mind. Having my shrimp on your barbie.
That's a good one.
That's what I don't understand
That's a
about
good one.
sometimes. I love your humor, but like, it's weird how you're pro-liberal, all these views, but then you also joke about them. I mean, that's what I liked about you to begin with. You weren't afraid to joke about anything in per se. You know what I mean? But I think it's a little bit of like counterintuitive, right?
Well, I don't really think that I'm pro anything in particular. We live in a neoliberal society. So
Pro human being. I'm pro human being.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm pro.
Probably a good thing.
Pro compassion.
Pro campness. If people want to be camp, I've known people who are gay, and well, they still are gay probably. And I've been in gay clubs and this kind of environment, and
Yes, I found it.
it's not something that it's just a different side of life, isn't it? You're not.
Hard to find his ass.
Admittedly, that was when I used to love drinking, so I wasn't there because I was gay. So
And even if you were there, that's fine. That's okay if you were.
I understand.
That's
well, if
If there's anything.
many people online now know that I'm not gay, so I don't want to
Do
say
they?
that I was gay then either.
It was-
Are you
it
sure?
was a thing. No.
Maybe you were a little bit, maybe a little bit.
Are you sure, bro?
Question that.
You thinking about it?
No, I
Who
know.
the heck?
I mean, I think in this country we've had a lot of. If you go back to like the 70s on TV, there were a lot of things which would be deemed politically incorrect now, like in terms of. But not so much in terms of. But we've always had like camp characters in shows like "Are You Being Served?" Like, "Oh, are you being served?"
Oh yeah.
That kind of thing. I mean, and yeah, and we had the fast show like where they were like, "Oh, suits you, sir," like the men's clothing guys who were like, "Oh," and just they're really over sexualizing everything when they're like saying about how it'll attract women and oh, when you're going down on her, oh, and I think now, even 10, 20 years after that TV wouldn't be as welcoming to that kind of thing because it can be interpreted as a bit
Yeah, there's a lot of things back then. that
making
made
fun of.
Mhm.
But I mean, I don't think it's intended to be making fun of. It's just
Look at All in the Family. You think that could be made today? Are you kidding me?
I doubt it.
All right, I'm going to be heading off now because it's 11:30 here. So thank you, everyone.
I
And
could write them. I'm sure there's a way to write them out of this hole. I'll just say that. I already thinking about it in my mind already.
Well, they're showing at Disney. You can do whatever you want with a movie.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't matter at this point. So we can write anything you want.
you can write. You can fix this, but it's gonna take. I mean, you better do it right now.
Yeah, it's not a band-aid. It's surgery at this
It's
point.
surgery at this point.
It's
Yeah.
not a scrape anymore. It's a
You gotta go
full-blown
deep
wound.
into the bone and scrape out all the
Infection.
infection.
Wait for 3 months for all that.
Nicholas, I didn't used to be in Derby so much. It was when I used to live more near Nottingham. But in terms of in Derby, I've been in some of the worst pubs there, like Castle and Falcon. One time I left like a bag in there and my wallet and everything,
Oh,
and they kept it for me until the next day though. So
wow.
That's how nice you guys are over there.
Very cool.
But you know, it's known as one of the more not necessarily best pubs, so kind of contradictory. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming on this week, and hopefully I'll see you all again. Thanks everyone in the chat as well.
Everybody go see Asteroid City. It's a beautiful visual experience.
Hi to your brother there as well, Ben.
Thank you, Johnny.
Maybe he'll be joining us.
Have a good one.
All the best, and see you soon. See you in the trees.
See you in the breeze.
See ya. Ciao.